Education and video games. Combine those two babies together and you get the atmospheric puzzle platformer Never Alone. What intrigued me about this game and ultimately got me to sit down and review it is that it gives us a look into the culture and lifestyle of the Inupiat people of Alaska. The game was even developed with the input of nearly 40 Alaskan native elders, storytellers, and community members, so you know you're getting the real deal here. This was a group of people that I knew absolutely nothing about, as I don't remember ever hearing anything about them in school, unless I zoned out that day. Nevertheless, I wanted to learn more about these Alaskan natives, and being able to gain knowledge of the world while also playing a video game at the same time sounded fantastic. The gameplay, as previously mentioned, is a mix of platforming and puzzle solving, as you guide a young Inupiat girl named Nuna and her Arctic fox companion to find the source of an eternal blizzard and put a stop to it. The narrative is actually drawn from a traditional story passed down from the generations of Inupiat people, so as you play and interact with new elements, you're also learning in the process, which is neat. For example, you'll encounter the mischievous little people that the natives speak of, or the sky people that swoop down from the northern lights and cut your head off. I'm dead serious about that. Your head doesn't actually get cut off in the game, but that is what the sky people are said to do. As you progress through Never Alone, you'll come across owls that will unlock cultural insight videos that give you the information on these various gameplay elements, which is how I now know about these head-cutting sky people. These videos are definitely a highlight of Never Alone, as we get to see various Inupiat people get interviewed while also seeing pictures and videography of the land, so you can actually see these things instead of just being told. It makes the cultural lessons much more interesting, instead of reading blocks of text. Now, each of the two characters, Nuna and the Arctic Fox, they both come with their own unique abilities that will be used to solve the environmental puzzles. Nuna is able to push and pull heavy objects and use a bola as a projectile attack, while the Fox can run up walls, wall jump, and summon helper spirits that act as additional platforms. When playing in single player, you'll be able to switch between both of them seamlessly with a simple tap of a button, and you'll be doing this quite a bit as Never Alone does make good use of each character's unique abilities. You can also play the game locally with a friend, where one of you will control Nuna and the other gets to be the Foxy Fox. This is probably the more ideal way to play Never Alone, as in single player, the AI of your companion doesn't always work perfectly, especially when it comes to the more heavy puzzle areas with bottomless pits that you have to confront. If your companion dies at any time, it doesn't just respawn next to you, it acts as a death for both of you, causing you to go back to the last checkpoint. Thankfully, the game is generous with these checkpoints, so you don't lose out on a ton of progress. But the AI does have a few screws loose, as I found that it would cause my buddy to fall into bottomless pits and kill themselves. Never Alone also isn't a stranger to glitches, as multiple times I found my character getting stuck in some platforms and then quickly plummeting to their death. And other times, the game would be a bit more finicky when it comes to grabbing onto these specific helper spirit platforms that attach to walls. It also wouldn't have hurt if there was some sort of aiming reticle for the bola, because you may just miss your target more than once, but I just chalked up the lack of one as though they wanted to make the bola experience more authentic. I don't know if that was their intention, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. On the flip side, Never Alone does an amazingly swell job in the educational department, but since the main bulk of the experience is really a video game, that needs to be up to snuff as well. The gameplay is by no means terrible. I actually found myself having a relatively fun time. It's just not groundbreaking or goes out of the way to create many unique challenges. For example, there's like 5 chase sequences in the game, which seems to be a bit overboard, but in their defense, they are pretty exhilarating. Never Alone is also not a lengthy adventure. It's actually really short, as you can probably reach the end credits in about 3 hours. And the game doesn't offer much in the way of replay value, since the collectibles are either automatically unlocked as you play, or you'll just run into them along the way, since most are not hidden. And when I speak of collectibles, I'm talking about the cultural insight videos, and the new cultural artifacts, which are exclusive to the Wii U version. These artifacts are taken from the collections of the Smithsonian Institution. You get to see a high-res image of the objects, while also getting to read background information on them from Alaskan natives. Honestly, the cultural insight videos are a bit more compelling than reading lines of text for the artifacts, but they're a great inclusion nonetheless to ramp up the educational goodness. When it comes to the visuals of Never Alone, they are nothing mind-blowing, but they do get the job done. I mean, the game takes place in Alaska with an eternal blizzard wreaking havoc, so you'll mainly just be seeing snow and ice everywhere. The developers do try to change up the surroundings ever so slightly, but still, there's not much visual diversity. It kinda comes with the territory though. What we do get looks not half bad, and sometimes the game's cutscenes will unfold with the help of drawings reminiscent of the stories that the Inupiat people would draw. Plus, to add another cultural flair to the mix, while the story is told through subtitles, a narrator reads the dialogue in the Inupiat language, which is a nice touch. Overall, Never Alone does a fantastic job giving us a look into the culture and lifestyle of the Inupiat people of Alaska, as it's seamlessly woven into the narrative and gameplay. Plus, it helps that the cultural insight videos are enjoyable to watch. The video game side of Never Alone is a bit more rocky, with an annoying AI and some glitches, but fun will be had nonetheless. It doesn't go over and beyond in the gameplay department, but the dual character puzzles work quite well, even if they are pretty simple. If you're just looking for a video game and you don't care about any of the educational information on the Inupiat culture, then Never Alone might not be your cup of tea. But if learning more about the world is something you wouldn't mind, then Never Alone isn't half bad. So, in all, I found Never Alone to be a so-so game. And that will bring us to the end of this review. And if you like what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up and add your favorites and all that good stuff. And you can stay tuned for more videos in the future. But I will talk to you all in the next video, guys. Bye!